Now to Benue State, some residents of Benue in central Nigeria have been forced to flee their homes after a series of violent attacks by suspected armed herders in Agatu County, specifically in Asa community. Reports say the area has been under siege for the past 4 days. The attacks have left several people dead and many others have been abducted. The violence has triggered widespread protests, with locals taking to the streets demanding an end to the constant killings and kidnappings. As the attacks continue, over 2 million internally displaced people, including women and children, are struggling to survive in Benue State. The situation has worsened following the suspension of U.S. aid, which has left many in severe poverty, unable to meet their basic needs. Well, for more insights into the crisis in Benue State, we turn to Melvin Ejeh, a resident and the chairman of Agatu County, who is also joining us right now from Benue. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here, Melvin. Now, in January 2025, reports claimed that Fulani and Agatu leaders signed another peace agreement. Now, the first agreement was signed in 2017. Now, has this improved security or attacks still ongoing?
Okay, we have not signed any peace agreement. Please quote me verbatim. We have not signed any peace agreement in Fulani anywhere under my watch. What we had was doing the unusual. Normally, the herders normally invade our communities. They invade our communities without permission. That's what they did last year. As soon as I got into office, I started what we call ADR. ADR is alternative dispute resolution, aimed at forestalling further crisis, just like we used to have before. Agatu have been in Tuma for 13 years. So what we had was, instead of going the route of fighting, instead of going the route of engaging in war, we decided to talk. And that talk process is still on up to this moment. We have not signed any agreement with the Fulani people. What we did was calling them to Agatu and say, look, you have come to our community even though uninvited. We are not going to attack you. Don't attack us, please. If you want to graze, there is an anti-grazing law in Benue State. Respect this anti-grazing law. Restrict yourself to a particular area. Don't eat our farmer's farm, and do your business in peace. That was what we did. We never at any time signed peace agreement with Fulani. That time is not here. We're getting to a level where, of course, eventually one day we'll have sit down together and say, okay, let's begin to stay together. But we haven't gone to that level yet. Before, some of them were invited, some of these Fulanis were invited by some criminal Agatus who were benefiting from the spoil of war, who were benefiting from loot during this crisis, who were benefiting from several things. They invited them in. We never asked them to come. We never signed any peace agreement with them under my watch. Please quote me verbatim. Thank you.
Right, you've denied that a peace agreement was signed. Are Fulani-led attacks still happening?
Until this moment that I speak to you, since I came into office on October 9, 2024, no attack have happened in Agatu local government. Nobody has been killed in Agatu local government. No gun have been shot in Agatu local government. And this is the result of mediation and ADR that we've been using. There's no attack happening in Agatu local government. What we have now is the issue of destruction of crops in our farms and erosion of cattle by people. So what we have now is isolated incidences by criminal hoodlums from the both sides, from the Fulanis and from the Agatu side. We have people who do not want this peace. We have criminals who want to undermine the efforts of our government. No attack has happened from that time I came into office till now. Mind you, I'm restricting my answer to Agatu local government where I head sway, where I'm holding sway currently. I don't know whatever happened in my next local government. I don't know what happened in Benue State. I'm speaking for Agatu local government, and that's how I'm going to restrict myself throughout the period of this interview.
All right, violence in neighboring counties could spill over into Agatu. You've made mention that you do not want to talk about, Benue State in general, but with a possible spillover of violence into the county where you chair, Agatu, shouldn't that concern you?
I am simply not competent to answer questions. We have rules of engagement. Okay. We have rules and of administration. I can't be speaking for Benue State. If you want to speak to Benue State, I think the right person to speak is the spokesman to the governor, Teso Kula. I am not the spokesman for the state. I'm not the commissioner of information for the state. Like I said, I will speak to you based on what happened in the Agatu local government. And any attempt to cross Agatu local government, I'm not in, because that is where my competence stops. That is where I'm asked to hold. That is where I'm the chief security officer. Whatever happens in my next local government, I don't want to know. I'm not interested because when we get there, we're going to manage it. However, for me, I'm respected to Agatu local government, and that is where I'm going to stand. That is where I'm going to stay.
All right. Now, with over 2 million displaced persons in Benue and 5,000 in Agatu alone, why hasn't there been a stronger appeal for aid, especially after U.S. aid's withdrawal? Were IDPs actually receiving support, or was it being mismanaged?
Well, let me be very clear. Since I came on board, we have not actually called any international organization for help because there are procedures and protocols to do that. However, we have called our governor, and the state management emergency agency that have been proactive. They have come to our aid at several times, and I'm sure they are planning something big for the Agatu local government, which I hold to currently. But I've not called you. You said I've not called any foreign donors to come and help us in solving our problem because, like I said, there are protocols for that. And when that time comes, we are going to make the appropriate call. However, Agatu is in the dire need of humanitarian need. Agatu is in the dire need of help from international communities.
All right, now, Melvin Ejeh, the chairman of Agatu County, thank you so much for your time and your insight.